1.5 to 2 weeks ago, and it's super small, as you guys can see. I'm just giving you a nice little close-up, and it just fits nicely in the hand, so it's not just a weird shape, and it has a nice weight to it. And this has been one of the devices that I received, and right away I wanted to play with it and open it up and just see what it's like. And I actually took it out to a shoot because I really needed a small, tiny, compact but powerful device that I could take out with me to use at a shoot. So I'm glad that it didn't break or anything during that. I've never really broken a device, but you never know. So as usual, I'm going to give you guys the specs of this device, and then I'm going to get into vaping it for you guys and giving you guys my opinion. The device will be, sitting here, and the tank is right here. In the box, you also receive a USB charger. You receive an extra coil, and also some of these little bands as well, and your tiny little user manual. You also get the general manual here, but I guess this is just a user manual for the atomizer. So this little device is actually quite powerful and amazing, so I'm just going to read you guys what eLeaf says about their own device. That way you guys will have a better idea. They put it in beautiful words. So this is what they say about the device. The iStick Pico, just like its name, is tiny and exquisite in appearance. Powered by single interchangeable 18650 cell, it provides you with 75 watts maximum output and switchable variable wattage bypass TC nickel, TC titanium, TC-SS, TCR modes with top fill e-liquid filling design, hidden airflow control, and detachable structure. The new MELO 3 Mini is the best match for the iStick Pico. So this little guy can do so many things. Again, it has the TCR mode, which, as I mentioned in a previous video, not familiar with, not something I want to get into at this point of my life. But I am going to vape it for you guys because I'm very excited about that part. So actually, before I vape it for you guys, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it. Yes, I'm reading off this. I didn't take notes. I wasn't prepared. But hopefully this video is going to cover everything for you guys. Before I say more, I'm quickly going to show you guys how the battery actually fits into this little device. So the device itself is actually too short for the battery to fit. So what they have done is they've put this little thing here just so that it kind of fits. So as you can see, right there. The device is just too tiny, so they have just a little extra thing here. So you put your battery in, you screw the top on, and it's already turned on, and you're good to go. Also with devices like this, which turn on automatically as soon as the battery is on, I really suggest you guys always looking at your device just to make sure that you're not firing by accident, and to make sure that you turn it off if you're not using it right away. And while we are here, I'm just going to quickly show you guys a close-up portion of the device itself without the tank on. So this is what the mod looks like without the tank on. You just have your iStick Pico here. Down here you have some ventilation going on, and you have your up and down plus minus buttons. You only have the fire button here, and in the front you have where you can charge the battery. Although, as I always say, I like to take my batteries out and charge it like that because these are just some powerful batteries in here. Also up here, right next to where you put the battery, you have the 510 connector, which is spring-loaded. And this is just what the whole device looks like all around and how it fits in my slightly big hands. And here we have the MELO 3 Mini tank. This is what it looks like around. It's quite small, and this is what they were talking about with the hidden airflow adjustment. You don't see any big holes here, you just see a tiny little opening, but the airflow adjustments are in there. I like this because it makes for a smaller tank, and it also just, fits the smallness of the entire device. So this does lock into place, but I'm noticing that this one is a little bit tricky. There is a little bit of a, it's like something is kind of stuck in there, so it's not the smoothest airflow adjustment. So you just kind of like play around with it, and I just kind of feel that it's not the smoothest. Maybe if I do this several times it will become smoother, but it does have a little bit of a, I don't know, it feels like something is stuck in there. So not the smoothest, but I guess when it's on your device it's going to be easier to just move it around. You also have your regular drip tip up here, so you can put your gold-plated, silver-plated ones here. And I'm just going to quickly show you guys what the top fill function kind of looks like without spilling all of the liquid. So the top fill function is clean, but also in a way the openings are a little bit small here. I feel like a lot of the droppers I have are just a little bit too thick for that, so you do have to be a little careful when filling the tank up. And this is what the device looks like when it's put together. Still very, very small, but it does have a nice weight to it, so you don't feel like you're going to drop it, which I really enjoy. So you can also vape this on stealth mode if you want as well. And you can also switch between the vape modes like TCR, nickel, titanium, whatever you guys want to do by just clicking the fire button 3 times really quickly. And the user manual just beautifully goes through what you should do in different vape modes so that you can get the best experience and how you can switch between all the little function even though you do only have the 2 buttons. So they've made it super simple, and it's wonderful to see how much you can do with only 3 buttons on the device. So the coils that come with the setup are actually quite chunky, which means that they do have quite a bit of cotton in them, which for me means that it's not going to burn as easily as a lot of coils within tanks for setups that are going for that small look or that just general smallness. So even though this device is so tiny, the coil is actually making me very happy. I know that this is going to last me quite some time. This is a 0.3 ohm Kenthal coil right here. This is the one I'm going to be vaping for you guys. As you can see, it's kind of the standard size for me. I feel like it's not going to burn easily, or quickly, I should say. So while I'm talking about the coil, I remembered that I didn't mention what comes in the box. So you're going to be getting the iSig Pico without the battery, the Mellow 3 mini atomizer, one 0.3 ohm coil and one 0.5 ohm coil, 4 seal rings, 1 USB cable, and 2 user manuals, one for the mod and one for the tank. So I'm going to pop back in the 0.3 ohm coil, which can go anywhere from 30 to 80 watts. And I'm going to start vaping for you guys as I just give you guys as much information as I can about this device. Another thing to mention is that you can also upgrade the firmware on this little device, which again is blowing my mind because this is so tiny and it's covering so many different things and it only takes 1 battery. This just makes me so happy. So I was mentioning earlier in the video that the airflow adjustment was a little bit hard to move around, but now that it's actually sitting, my tank is sitting on my mod, it's not that bad. It's actually quite smooth. So I think it was just me trying to like do it, you know, when it's not attached to a nice platform. But yeah, it's pretty smooth. Everything is smooth here. It just locks into place kind of. You hear a bit of, I guess, a bit of locking, I feel. Also, nothing rattles in there, even though the battery is kind of sitting there. It's not being held into place by anything like a lot of other mods. Nothing is rattling, like nothing. Everything is just nice and compact, and everything just feels so well made in there that it's just nice to hold. You enjoy vaping it. Now I'm getting the part where I talk about kind of what I think about it and my own experience with it. As a beginner device, this is fantastic. I feel it's so small, it's so simple to use, and it covers so many different things. So if you give this to a beginner, I think they're going to learn TCR and they're going to learn about temperature control just because it's so easy with this device and it's so tiny. So enough with me talking about how cute and tiny this is. Let's start vaping. So I'm just going to turn this device on. It also has a very nice kind of matte white finish to it. I like it. It's not flashy. It's a nice color, even though it does come in different colors: black, white, hot pink, silver, and gray. I am very happy with the white. It's also going with my outfit today, so I'm really liking this. But enough drooling, let's just start vaping with it and see what the flavor is like. As usual, I have a liquid here that I'm familiar with. I know what it's supposed to taste like. So I'm going to be vaping this at, let's just start a little bit lower for you guys and then go higher. So, alright, let's do 26 watts. Oh, I should open the airflow adjustments. So this is the only kind of funny thing about it. You don't know how open or closed your airflow adjustments are. There is no way to see that. So you're just gonna kind of have to like try it out and then move it and then try it out and move it. That's the only, I guess, downside to having a hidden airflow adjustment. The upside is that it makes for a smaller tank, a more sleek looking device. There are no extra things popping here and there. It just looks very simple and pretty, but also you don't know what your airflow adjustment is, so if somebody grabs your device and plays with it, you're gonna have to like, is this good? No, too airy, let's just close it. Is this good? No, and then you're gonna have to, you know, do that. But I personally don't have a problem with it because, as you guys know, I like to keep my airflow adjustments as open as I can. I like that airy vape, especially when I'm vaping at higher wattage. So at 26 watts, very, very mellow. Ah, see what I did there? Mellow. All right, we are at 40 watts now. I'm liking this. The flavor is excellent. I really like how the flavor delivery is with this tank. I'm really liking it. I'm almost thinking about maybe taking this tank and using it on other devices because I'm just kind of enjoying how, you know, smooth the ride is, and you know, I just enjoy it. I don't know, I just really enjoy it. All right, we're doing 50 watts now. I actually really like that. For 50 watts, it is giving me a lot of vapor. You know what, you guys know I'm kind of a beginner even at this stage of my vaping life. I don't know what brands are doing with their devices to allow for it to create so much vapor. I know that your liquid, your setup, your battery power, all that stuff plays a big role in creating vapor, but again, I think that the way that the coils heat up and the way that everything is set up in there, the coil, the tank, that is responsible for how much vapor this can create. And I don't know if it's just me, it might be me. Some of you like experienced vapors might just be shaking your head at me right now, but I feel like with this device compared to a lot of the devices I have at 50 watts, this is giving me a lot more vapor. I don't know if it's just the size of it that in my brain is making, you know, me think that, but at 50 watts, I'm getting a lot more vapor with this compared to a lot of my other devices with the same VG to PG ratio, juice going in there, with the same battery, level of how charged the battery is. This is a perfectly charged battery I have going on. So I don't know, it might just be me, but it is giving me quite a lot of vapor, which I really enjoy. $50 watts. I really like that. Maybe it's just me, but it's something worth throwing out just in case, you know, that is a thing. So for cloud chasing, you know, non-hardcore cloud chasing, this is quite excellent. If you want a small device, you don't want to create massive amounts of cloud in the street, but you want to really enjoy creating some and, you know, but not sacrificing, you know, your man purse or your purse size. This is a great device for that. Generally, I'm very happy with this device. However, I'm still gonna go and kind of chain vape it for you guys to see whether it overheats and whether the tank overheats, how much does it overheat. So in order to do that a little bit better, I'm just gonna push this to 60 watts. So we're at 60 watts now. I'm just gonna try vaping over and over a few times for you guys and then just see a few things. First of all, does the battery heat up? That's actually something I've never tried before making this video. I never really focused on that. Secondly, see if the tank heats up, which is normal, but how much does it heat up? Is it crazy? Third, I'm actually going to even focus on, does my drip tip heat up to the point where it hurts my mouth? Because sometimes it does happen. And 4 is, am I going to get am I going to die? Am I going to get a throat hit to the point where I'm going to die? A dry hit? Am I going to get a dry hit? Because that's again something I never experienced. Because some tanks, as I've told you guys before, the juice flow hole is so small that it takes some time for the cotton to be fed enough liquid for you to vape it. So I don't know if this is going to do that to me. So 60 watts, we're just going to change vape. We're just going to chain vape. Oh, I can't say it. We're just going to chain vape and see what this is going to do. Alright, touch touching it everywhere. Is it warm? Is it just me? The mod does warm up a tiny little bit, not enough to even make me notice it unless I'm touching it like everywhere to make sure. It could either be the heat of my hand holding it so tightly and me being nervous about getting a dry hit on camera, but there is the tiniest little bit of heat going on. At 60 watts, my tank is perfectly fine. Like, I can actually hold it. It's not crazy, it's not hot. It's warm, what do you expect? The drip tip, I didn't feel any heat to the point where it's uncomfortable at all. Yeah, it's pretty solid. I'm very happy with that. Nothing else is warm, nothing is making me worried. Also, another thing to note is that this is a device I don't have to count to 30 before I take another puff. I can just constantly vape, and I mean, I never vape like that. I never vape that much in real life unless we're doing a photo shoot, a video shoot, something where vapor is a big part of it. And sometimes, if you guys know, I make like art videos, and my other main channel, I'm like vaping at a jewelry to record it and make it look, you know, mystical, and that's when I'll be vaping like crazy. With a device like this is lovely. I can take it out with me. I don't have to worry about vaping it too frequently to the point where I'm gonna get a dry hit in the street just because the cotton didn't get enough time, you know, to soak up the liquid. Another thing to note, at the settings that I had my, you know, setup going, it does eat up your liquid really quickly. I pretty much had this, you know, a little more than half full when I started, and now it's just all the way down here. So, you know, if you are vaping and you want to be, you know, using your expensive liquid, your limited edition stuff, I'm not judging you. I have some. Maybe this device might not be for that. It is gonna, you know, eat up your liquid quickly, but I really don't mind. I love it. I feel like this review video has been just generally very positive. I'm really trying to think of things I would change about it, but I really like this. I have no problem with anything. The only thing that I could possibly think of it being a problem for anyone is the hidden airflow adjustment, as I mentioned earlier, because you can't see how open the airflow holes are, so you're going to constantly have to try it out, move it a little, try it out. For me, that's not a big problem, but you know, I want my reviews to be honest for you guys. That might be an issue for some of you. There's no way to know how open or how close the airflow adjustments are. I'm trying to see if there is a way. I guess you see something, but I'm not sure if it's enough to help. But there is like a tiniest little line you see, but I don't really feel like it's there for you to see it. It's just kind of a result of the, you know, design of the device, but you don't know how open your airflow adjustment is, so you're just gonna have to like keep trying this and then, you know, seeing how open it is and, you know, twisting it again. The screen is small, but I think it's not too small. It's giving me just enough information. I'm able to kind of like not hold it up to my face. I can just see what's going on. It's quite bright. I like that. I have some studio lights going at the moment, and also my window is open, so I'm getting some daylight in. I can see this outside. I'm really excited. I actually took this out on a shoot and it was daytime. I could see it perfectly. It's giving me all the information I could possibly need. Let's see how quickly it picks up when you're going up and down with the wattage. I'm actually just going to do that here to show you guys. So I'm just going to show you guys how quickly it goes up and down. You know, not a big deal. There we are. So just a small little thing worth mentioning. Also, another thing to mention, since I was just cleaning up my device to, you know, show you guys a close-up, is that I did not experience any leakage with this yet, and I did leave this on its side, this way, that way, with the tank being completely full when we were doing the shoot. So this was just in my luggage, like thrown in there. We had no time. And it was just left on every angle, I'm sure. Again, it further goes to say that this is going to become one of the devices that I'm going to take out with me. It's not just going to, you know, sit there with my vape collection in the back looking pretty, but it's actually a useful device for me to take out with me, but also at home just to enjoy. So I feel like this video has been a generally positive review of this device. But as I always say in all of my videos, I mean, I've started to say that more nowadays, don't take my word for anything. Do your own research. Watch other vape reviewers on YouTube. I am quite a beginner still, or I think of myself as quite a beginner. There are reviewers on YouTube who are just as honest as I am, but they have years and years of experience. They have tried hundreds of mods, hundreds of tanks. They're gonna have a different opinion about this than I do. And so be sure to, watch other reviewers. Don't take my word for it. Personally, I think this is a fantastic device. I'm using the term awesome and fantastic so many times, but that is exactly what this is. So small, compact. I love the weight of it. It's not too much, and it does take just enough liquid for me. I'm gonna see how much liquid capacity this has. I don't think I ever looked into that or mentioned that. So as I expected, this does take 2 milliliters of liquid. I feel like it's just enough for me. In this case, I don't want to sacrifice the size of the tank for just a milliliter more. I'm in love with the size of it. Generally a solid device. I'm so excited with this. I'm very impressed, and I love the fact that eLeaf was able to pump so much stuff into just this one little device. You can do variable wattage, you can do your temperature control, you can do TCR, there's so much you can do, and you can also upgrade the firmware, which is quite awesome. So without drooling over and over about this device, it's been one of the devices that I've been most excited to review actually, and I've been reviewing a lot of devices recently, but this one takes the cupcake or the cake or whatever. But really enjoying it. I think it's really solid for a beginner, for an advanced vapor god out there. You're gonna like this. I think you're gonna like it. But again, do more research into it. Don't just take my word for anything, actually. I might have a totally different opinion than 90% of the people out there, so definitely do your research. But if you want my opinion, I am impressed 10 out of 10 with this little guy. So before I say more, I'm just gonna fill up my tank to make sure I don't die on camera. I'm gonna go back a little bit, vape for you guys at, let's see, how many watts? 60 watts, and I'm gonna show you guys how much vapor this baby can create with 60 watts, and I'm gonna wrap this video up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a beautiful day or night wherever you guys are, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.